Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me at this great event. So the downside of doing a presentation in the last part of an event is that a lot of things have already been said, right? But nevertheless, I hope there's something valuable in my presentation for everyone. So my name is Jeffrey Kusters. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at ITQ. ITQ is a multi-cloud platform company in Europe, an MSP. We have around 200 colleagues across Europe, and we cover the Dutch, French, and German-speaking countries with local offices. With roughly 200 colleagues, we offer solutions for hybrid cloud, cloud native, and digital workspace. And today, I want to talk to you about the value add that MSPs can bring to the discussion around sovereign cloud. So hopefully, there is something really valuable in this for everyone. So let's move over to kind of how the human mind works, because I think, and it was mentioned already before, but we like to put things into boxes, right? It's either black or it's white, it's good or it's bad. You're either with the rebellion or with Darth Vader. Everyone likes to position things in a certain box. And in some of the discussions we are having, we see the same trend around public cloud and cloud in general. So public cloud is either bad or it's good. So we really like to perceive it in a different way. How can public cloud be of value to a specific customer case? And we truly believe that cloud can really be of tremendous value to customers in scenarios if it's done for the right reasons, using the right tools, using the right processes, and on the right foundation. That's what we strongly believe. So when we look at cloud and all the cloud challenges that we see with our customers, we can make it really simple. So I like to be pragmatic in these kind of things. If an IT director or a CIO, if he's contemplating his IT strategy, where do we position these types of workloads? How do we move forward? It's always a debate about we're going to go private cloud, we're going to go public cloud. But this is not really the only part of the equation, right? So this IT director, he will probably do kind of a pros and cons analysis, and this is way overly simplified, but let's for sake of argument, let's look at the pros. So if it's a private cloud, it's an on-prem data center, then yes, data security, compliancy, data privacy, they're all kind of ensured and built in the platform. You're in full control of the estate. The downside can be that it can be very hard to scale, both in capacity, but also in terms of delivering the services and the capabilities that the business and development teams need. Building these platforms out in scale can be very hard. You always have to deal with all the continuous life cycle of updates, upgrades, basically the continuous endless loop of lifecycle management, which can be very expensive in the end. Combine that with the huge lack of talent that we all see in the market, it's becoming very hard for customers to do it all themselves. Now, if we kind of shift gears and look at public cloud in this case, you can see it's very easy to scale, right? There's an endless amount of, virtually limitless scalability and capacity. There are tons of innovative services that customers can leverage to build out the platform, so it's quote-unquote easy to scale. They're also kind of offloading a lot of the hard work to the cloud providers. So it is relatively easier to manage. But the downsides are very obvious. You're not in control of your data. Privacy is at risk. Can be very expensive to scale once you reach a certain level of scalability. So these are all kind of part of the equation here. Now, big light bulb moment for the IT director. There is a world that sits in the very pragmatic way that I think of it, that sits between on-prem customer-owned data centers and public cloud, which is the sovereign cloud. And we really see it as kind of the best of these both worlds coming together. It's the ease of use of consuming a cloud service from a provider with the benefits of data security, privacy, compliancy, simple to scale, etc., etc. It's really, really a combination of these two worlds. But it's not simple. However you position it, If you're already running things on-prem, you're running things on a public cloud potentially. If you're adding a third environment to the mix, you are adding complexity. So this can become very complex to manage yourself. Migrating all these workloads to this new sovereign cloud that you put in the middle of your IT estate can also be very complex. So you need to do proper planning. And even in this sovereign cloud, locally governed cloud environment, it's still complex to keep up with all the changing regulations. So all in all, it's a very complex landscape. So just to kind of put a bit of data into this presentation. This is from a recent McKinsey report. And almost half of the IT leaders that were being surveyed, they see that they're facing really high costs when they're moving stuff to cloud. And it really comes out of poor planning because thankfully what we now see that this whole cloud first kind of sentiment that was there for many years is now slowly going away, thankfully, because not every workload belongs in the public cloud. And the unexpected resource consumption is also contributing to these unforeseen costs. Because if we see that our customers, they're starting small, they're seeing small successes in public cloud, and then they start to rapidly scale, and 30K per month turns into 300K per month. So this is what we are not only seeing in these market surveys, but we also see them with our customers. So repatriation is a big topic these days. We see a lot of these types of cases coming now into the media, and these are all due to the how do you say it, kind of the unrealistic expectations that everyone had of public cloud, because it will be easier, faster, cheaper, etc., etc. And it's simply not true, especially if you are not doing it in a proper way, like I mentioned before. So for us, the real kind of key differentiator, or what you really need to be successful at any cloud strategy, is to really have an end-to-end approach. And the end-to-end approach that we use in our customer engagements are simply, planning, building, and then continuously optimizing. We call these consult and envision, build and implement, and manage and improve. Now, if we already start thinking about sovereign cloud in this context, then consult and envision is all about getting all the information out of the environment. So doing proper assessments, designing your compliance strategy, making sure that you architect things in a way that compliance is almost kind of out of the box available. You need to define your migration strategies, and so on and so on. So if we move to then building these environments, it's all about implementing compliance tools and frameworks almost integrally into the system. You need to make sure that continuous automated compliance checks are in place. You need to make sure that you automate as much as possible in these platforms to make sure that you are in control of the entire chain. In these words, so in the end, building and implementing is all about creating repeatable processes and platforms to really scale out. And then in the manage and improve phase, like I mentioned, it's all about continuous optimization. So it's not only building these platforms and then handing it over to the customer, but we strongly believe that you need to implement ways and processes to continuously optimize. Optimize for cost, optimize for security, optimize for compliancy, and so on and so on. And this, if you summarize it, is where we strongly believe that MSPs like ITQ can be of tremendous value to customers if they are thinking about sovereign cloud. So, because MSPs, we take all these challenges that we see at our customers and we turn these into kind of streamlined, accessible services, because we can productize all these projects that we do. So all the learnings that we get from all the customer projects that we do, we kind of standardize and productize these into more standardized and scalable platforms. Now, to dive a bit deeper into a bit of the vision that we have around building sovereign clouds, I would like to dive one layer deeper into what we now call the ITQ Cloud Platform. Now, basically, we offer a wide range of solutions and services to our customers to really help them succeed in their cloud journey. So one layer deeper, if you look at the ITQ Cloud Platform, we envision kind of four main pillars in this platform. So we need to have consistent cloud landing zones. We need to be in control of our cost, security and compliance. These are the kind of the four main categories around the ITQ Cloud Platform. And this goes across the entire landscape of private cloud, sovereign cloud, public cloud, and even potentially SaaS offerings. And basically what we try to enable with this solution is to help our customers run both traditional workloads and modern workloads, advanced use cases like private AI or disaster recovery, and so on and so on. So there's a lot of value in this platform for our customers. Now, given the kind of the nature of today, let's dive one layer deeper again into sovereign cloud. Now, if we zoom in on the sovereign cloud platform that we envision, we use kind of this scalable hardware estate that we're not owning ourselves. I think it's very important to point out that ITQ, as an MSP, we strive to be asset light. That's the term that we use. So we don't own the infrastructure, we don't own all these data centers, because there are so many great partners out there locally who can build these platforms. We had them on stage here, like OVH. I see a lot of others in the room as well. These are really good at offering, scalable hardware platforms that we can leverage to build these kinds of platforms on top. So let's say that we have this cloud infrastructure in place, and then what we try to layer on top is, really the sovereign cloud options that are tailored to which specific industries. And ITQ is traditionally strong in healthcare, public sector, finance, and we also do see kind of the sovereign AI use case popping up across industries. But these are kind of the verticals where we are traditionally very strong. And these are also the industries where sovereignty and compliance and so on are really important. So one of the key use cases that we want to unlock for these specific industries are what we call the modern apps platforms combined with private AI platforms. Again, zooming in one level deeper on these two use cases. So here's an example of a cloud platform, again, built on that same infrastructure, leveraging NVIDIA GPUs. We integrate cloud management solutions. We expose the APIs to the customers. And what we build to support modern application use cases is really an internal developer platform, an IDP. Any modern IDP these days is built around Kubernetes, so that's a real big part of this platform, which we also, of course, take away all the heavy lifting for in a managed offering in this case. So we have the developer platform, managed Kubernetes. We integrate seamlessly with marketplaces where we can offer, again, value-add services for data, for AI, for message queuing, and so on. And then we try to leverage kind of the local solutions that are really needed in the platform to ensure that the development teams and the business lines can really easily deploy their code, because that's in the end what software developers need to do. They need to write code, build great software, and don't need to think about all the complexities of the underlying cloud platform. So we, for example, deploy locally in a sovereign way solutions like GitLab, MetaMost, Cookbook, and so on. And then kind of out of the box, more of the services that we provide is as our platform engineering teams, they can really help to build out these platforms to make sure that the CI/CD pipelines to get from code to production in a fast, efficient way and in a secure and compliant way are natively built into the platform. So these platform engineering teams, they basically sit between the business lines, the development teams of the customer, and really the infrastructure that we offer here. So looking at really great initiative, the ITQ Cloud Platform. Now what? How do you start? Because I heard the term journey mentioned a couple of times. That's really what it is. Many of these customers are on a journey. They are struggling with where to place their workloads, how to modernize their IT infrastructure. And we're seeing so many changes now in the market that we really like to take our customers along on a journey. So we use the analogy of a metro map. So customers really start off kind of in an emotional mindset of I need to find a proper solution for my workloads. Where do I place them? What's a good strategy? And then opinions start to matter and emotions come into play. Well, we really strive to take these out of the equation because we want to do data-driven analysis. So do a proper full workload assessment, do a TCO analysis, look at what's really the right place for that workload. So we build a roadmap together with the customer and kind of the end stations of all these different metro lines. You can really summarize them quite simply again. Private cloud, public cloud, sovereign cloud in the middle. And probably it will be a mix of these three for many customer cases. But again, it's very much a journey that we help our customers along. Now, I think if you talk about the value that MSPs can bring to the rich ecosystem of sovereign cloud, I think it's also very much the industry expertise that MSPs can bring. So, like I mentioned, ITQ is very strong in healthcare, public sector, and finance. But there are so many MSPs out there who are really focusing quite extensively on a specific vertical that you can really leverage all that knowledge about the regulations, all the changes that are coming on a regular basis to really ensure that you can go fast and be secure and compliant. If it's in healthcare, like I mentioned, so in this case, ITQ is an MSP, we can really ensure our customers that their data is stored in a proper way, that sovereignty is ensured. We also work with local teams, so all EU-based. We have no offshoring or anything like that. But in this case, healthcare is a very big part of our business model. So we have deep expertise in all that's required to be secure and compliant in healthcare. If it's a mission-critical environment, an example from our Belgian colleagues, where we build real local, sovereign, private AI solutions. So in this case, the customer can help us protect kind of the globe for wildfires and such. In finance, which is by nature one of the industries that ITQ has been very strong in, almost from the inception of ITQ back in 2001. So a lot of changes with DORA regulation coming up. A lot of industry regulation is popping up. And again, here, an MSP like ITQ can be of tremendous value to accelerate the journey. Now, I realize I went quite fast through the slides, so I think there's quite some time now to answer any questions. Hopefully, it was quite clear how MSPs, can be of value in this rich ecosystem. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much, Jeffrey, first of all. Many thanks. Questions? Questions from the audience? Yes.
Thank you. So first of all, a great presentation. Thank you.
Thanks.
As MSP, have you planned or have you started to do some sovereign cloud project with other CSPs hosting the data and the workload, and you managing all of the front end? In that case, how you see the risk-taken topic vis-à-vis the CIO or the IT manager? Because as soon as an MSP is proposing something which is not an hyperscaler, there is somewhere a risk that somebody needs to be prepared. So, could you develop on this?
Yeah, good question. So our strategy is to work with multiple of these cloud service providers, these local providers. because I think the benefit of leveraging VMware Cloud Foundation, the software that we are building these platforms on, is that we can create this consistent kind of IaaS plane, and then it doesn't matter which CSP kind of offers the bare metal service or the basic IaaS underneath. So in that sense, we can partner with multiple local partners in every country and region, which make it which kind of contributes to taking away the risk of relying too heavily on one of these CSPs.